Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've come live for a watercolor tutorial. I'll be doing some watercolor florals, and for this tutorial I'll be using Ayush Paper watercolor book. This is 270 GSM and it is a square sketchbook. I'll be using these round brushes from Brustro. They are in the size 3 and size 5. I'll be using these paints from Camel. These are Camel Artists watercolor cakes. Just set this aside, and here I have my water pot. So let's begin. I also have, you can keep a waste cloth or tissue to remove the excess water. So I have it here. This was my previous painting. You can check it out. It has a beautiful texture. You can also see the thickness of the sheet. It's quite good. Okay, so I'll start with the 5-petal flower first. For which I'll be going ahead with orange. So let's add some orange. Make sure your brushes have a fine tip. This helps to get some nice and thin lines. So I'll place my flower here. First I'm going to draw some lines and then shape out the leaves like this. Now you can always go ahead and add a little dark pigment, like I have taken some red and I'll add a few streaks. This gives a good shade to our petals. Okay. Now I'll paint my rose. I'm using Crimson Lake, a shade of pink. And I'll start by adding the C stroke. And as I move outward, I'll use very little pigment and more water. Okay. We'll make some more 5-petal flowers. We'll try to make this as colorful as possible, so I'll go ahead with blue. I'm going to mix two blues here, cobalt blue and Prussian blue, and I'll place it here. So these will be my lines. Then I form the petals like this. Okay, well, let's add another 5 petal flower here. How about a turquoise color? I'll mix some green with this blue. Again, making my lines. I've only drawn half the petal here to cover it behind the rose. Okay, now when the first layer has dried for the rose, I'll again add a second coat with a darker color. Okay, it all looks like they're flowing, and they don't have any particular end to it. So let's join them by making some leaves and branches. For that, I'll use a different size brush. This is a smaller size, it's size 3. And first I'll draw some stems. There's no right or wrong way to add these, okay? So just fill in those gaps. And now you can draw your leaves. For a few leaves you can have concentrated color, and for some I just like to add more water. So try not to have just one colored leaf. You can have some dark green, some light green, some even with yellow. As we've drawn different flowers, they can have different forms of leaves. You could also change the shape of the leaf if you wish, but I'll just stick to one regular shape here. Okay. Now I'm going to add dark green to the same. Add some dark green to my previous green. You can also mix a little bit of black if you wish to make it even more dark. You can also overlap the leaves with one another. Okay, I'll also add some leaves here. Okay, I'm picking some blue, use a darker shade of blue, and I'm going to add some lines now from the center corner. Okay, let's do the same thing with the other flower here. Okay, I'll add just a few streaks of red. Okay, picking a little bit of black and dropping it here as well. And finally here. Okay, then we'll add some black and I'll draw some loose stem, brown and black mixed together. You can just have small leaves with black as well. Okay, to finish off the piece, I'll pick my pink and very lightly just add some dots around it. This gives a nice finishing to our piece. You can also add some green colored dots or some small leaves like this can be added. Okay, so that's about it for today's session. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the final outcome. So yeah, guys can see I've used Ayush paper sketchbook. You can find all the links in the description box below. You can also use my code Sheena10 to avail 10% discount on the whole Ayush paper website. Thanks a lot for joining me for today's quick watercolor session. I hope you try this and do tag me in your creations. Have a good day. Bye.